Netflix was not off for the quarter, strong quarter. I've been pretty consistent on this show that I believe it is in a category by itself. And there's nothing about this quarter that dissuades me from this view. It just has a model down now that none of the other companies, including Disney, has. The size of its content budget, its ability to maintain engagement with all this competition. Its churn is much lower. Its average revenue per sub just continues to grow. It attracts all demographics. It's not younger skewing and having troubles finding older demographics. So the model is very much intact. And there's some things here which really show the contrasts with others. Disney gets most often compared to it. Look at Asia. You're now talking about average revenue per sub of Disney in Asia, about 50 cents. Netflix is coming in at about 20 times that in the Asian market. People are taking shots that growth in the US is slow, but at 74 million, that's how many cable satellite subs there are in this country. And Netflix hasn't capped out at that kind of number. It's got the demographics behind it. As younger and younger household formation occurs, people aren't going to have cable satellite. They're going to have streaming, and Netflix is going to have the pole position and be in every streaming home. Right. So there's nothing here that dissuades me from the view that this is the winner among all media companies by far.
So how does it stay on top, Tom? I mean, when you think about things like getting into gaming, for instance, is that the way? How do you see Netflix maintaining what you seem to think is a sizable and perhaps insurmountable lead over its competitors?
Well, first, continue to do what it's doing. When you can introduce where it's getting to in its content budget, a new movie or a new show every day, you're not gonna have a Squid Game every show by any means, but the odds are you're going to have far more shots on goal, and with that, far more really super hits than anybody else. And I think we're seeing that on the TV show side. Remember, they won more Emmy Awards than any network has in the history of television in a single season. So we're talking about quality here overall, but we haven't really seen them come out with movies with the same kind of cultural impact that they've had with TV. And I think we will begin to see a focus on that, and that will certainly spur things forward. I think the interesting thing about Squid Game is it is a television show which lends itself so well to gaming. Now, others are taking advantage of that gaming like Roblox before Netflix is, but it shows that they can put together television that will drive that gaming business, and that's obviously a huge additional way to drive engagement, particularly among younger demographics.
Tom, that was going to be my question. How important is gaming? You know, I've said Reed Hastings is one of probably the most underrated CEOs in the country, and you give him the benefit of the doubt. Getting into gaming, a lot of people say maybe they're taking their eye off the ball. I think it's a huge opportunity, but is there a way to quantify what that potentially could mean to Netflix?
Well, I agree with you. It's not taking eye off the ball, because it's all about where are the eyes of younger demographics. And, older demographics are still watching 6 hours a day of TV, but younger demographics are down to about 2 hours. And where are they going? They're going to gaming, some social media as well, but gaming is a big chunk of that. So if you want to maintain your relevance as a media company serving all demographics, and remember, Netflix is beating Disney when it comes to engaging young people. That's something people forget. Oh, everybody thinks Disney's the juggernaut of the younger demographic. It's not. Netflix is beating them there, and I think what it has its eye on is how do they maintain that advantage among younger demos. You got to move to where younger demos are. I think the other thing that's really striking here is with all the additional competition that has come in, Netflix engagement of audience in terms of time spent went from about 4 times Disney's in the quarter to about 6 times Disney Plus in the quarter. So they're actually growing that advantage, understanding where that younger skew is and being able to serve it, and video games is just a huge way to do it. It's hard to quantify because they're being very explicit that they're not going to take in-app gaming revenue. They're not going to have incremental subscription, but I think what it will allow them to do is continue to raise price over time. On average, their revenue per sub went up 7% worldwide in the quarter, and Disney's declined 25%. So there's just a lot here to look at to see how well they are managing this model relative to everybody else.